Listen to me. You heard me tell a story the other day about the young girl, Kenzie Morgan in Charlotte, North Carolina. My wife and I had the privilege to go there Tuesday, eat lunch with the Morgans, their family. This is a young girl who got her on a machine, and I wish I could think of what it was called. But her blood was being pumped out. Ushers, come on, come on. Blood was being pumped out and oxygenated and pumped back into her body. The doctor said it's the very last thing, basically the last line of defense before you die. 13 years old, 5th open heart surgery. She was 2 weeks old. They did an open heart surgery on her when she was 2 weeks old. And the doctor said he held her little heart in his hand and it was about the size of a walnut.
Wow.
But the other night, the Morgans called very late. When I got there, this is what Christine Morgan, we walked through the room, she busted out in tears and just joy. She said to my wife and I, the other night, what was crazy, they got a hold of me. That was crazy because most of the time you can't even get in touch with me. Most of y'all say amen on that. But anyhow, he called me and I walked into my bedroom, and I've shared this story, but we walked in and we started praying, and it was almost like I was there in the room with him. And a man of God walked into the waiting room. I found this out later. At the same time that I was praying. And he opened his Bible up and started speaking the word out loud while I was praying. And John said something happened in that room that was phenomenal. He said, I'm telling you, we bound together, and for the first time, he said, I felt in my spirit that my daughter was absolutely going to pull completely through, and God was going to give her an absolute miracle. I walked in her room Tuesday morning. They were taking the tube, they're going to take the tubes out of her. They did it that Tuesday afternoon at 7 o'clock. They took every tube in the girl, in that child, off and out of her body. And the doctor said, there is no way for me to explain what has happened to this child. What they thought was a 3 to 11 minute time without oxygen to her brain. After checking their equipment during that time, it was 20 minutes that she had no oxygen to her brain. And I looked at her, and them big brown eyes looked back at me. She looked at me and she said, I love you, Pastor Phillip. I almost tore the room down about that time. I'm telling you this because God is a miracle worker. The other Sunday night, Sister Missy, was it Sunday morning or Sunday morning? She was standing right here. We prayed for Brother Gary Bryant, Susan Bryant. They've been members of our church. I still claim them. When they come, they sit right here most of the time beside Shannon, they sit their family. He called me this week. He said, you need to know this. He said, I got my report back from my doctor. He had all the symptoms of pancreatitis again. The man almost died a few years back, stayed in the hospital over a month consecutively. Almost died with it. He had all the symptoms reoccur. He was beginning to get sick. Satan had told him, I'm coming back and I'm going to kill you. We prayed that Sunday, bound together with him. Sister Missy stood in for him. He called me this week. He said, I want you to hear this. He said, my doctor told me. He said, not only do you not have pancreatitis, he said, your pancreas is the best I've ever seen. And he said, get this. He said, besides your pancreas, there was a blood clot there from the previous attack years ago that just stayed there. He said, we looked for it and can't even find the blood clot. It is completely gone. And listen, folks, God is a miracle worker. I said, God is a miracle worker. And we are seeing